Alright, some more on the Vikings. So there was a reason why it was actually really hard to tie Sven to the Daneland Vikings, and that's because they already had a sort of canon leader, a guy by the name of Ernstein. Full plate armor, flamboyancy and everything he owns, decorative Viking ship, a lot. But he kind of sat there as the head of the Vikings, when in reality he was actually the brother of Sven. Well, Sven was just kind of giving him orders on what to do, and Ernstein's job was to find a way to do it. You see, Sven was taking advantage of the image of the Daneland Vikings in multiple ways. You see, he would actually offer the service of having a patrol unit to watch over your ships as they're crossing the Nordark Sea. But these patrol units would just be, ships marked with the do not attack signal, essentially, for these ships, and the Danelanders would stay away. That's if you paid the exorbitant price he was asking. Now, I mentioned in the previous video that there was actually a fleet made by the main Empire when this happened. Early on, when the Empire was kicking in its heels, it needed to spend some of its money to bring value to it so it would go places. So it spent 140 million groschen, that being its brand new currency it just minted, on a ship. This ship was 2,400 feet long, 300 feet wide, had 10 masts, and 500 gun points. Really, those gun points were filled with ballistas, but those ballistas had bolts that were enchanted with explosives. Called the Jormungandr, its whole purpose was to fight everything in the Northern Sea. And the Vikings learned very quickly to back off from that. Because it wasn't just taking down Viking ships, it was taking down sea dragons 100 times the size of a standard vessel. So after that debacle, for a hot minute, they didn't really have a lot of money. And then the Great War happens. See, the main empire moved the Jormungandr from the Nordark Sea down to the Castellan Strait in order to go fight in the Madeiran Sea and fight in the Zad. So the Vikings were taking advantage of that to attack the ports of Sovgard. Because, the Holy See is not going to get mad if I attack a person who attacked them, right? That's a whole other problem to deal with, but I'll explain it later. And they also harassed the Roshazans at the same time. They were just careful not to tick off the Germans. But because of this, Sven made an ungodly amount of money, and the Vikings just kept getting better and better gear to attack and assault better. They were getting things like cannon stabs, which would cause explosions in certain places. They were destroying fleets and taking thousands of pounds of gold. Unfortunately, near the end of Jurgen's run would be the end of their luck. Subscribe for more.